I thought I'd just give a very brief guided tour of this masjid, Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. This gilded cage is where the sultans apparently sat during sermons and during salah to protect them from assassination. And here we have the focal point of the masjid, stunningly beautiful. I don't know if you can make out, probably not, but there are two, they look like columns made of marble, but they're actually candles from the 5th century, from over 1,000 years, 1,500 years ago, and these candles still exist. And right up there we have the white sheets covering over some mosaics. I happen to know behind that main one there is the Virgin Mary and Jesus. And to the right we have these incredible symbols. One word there says Allah, and the other one says Muhammad, and the other ones are the names of his senior companions, including Uthman and Ali and others, all dotted around these huge symbols. And these very low-hanging chandeliers, there's a feature of many mosques in Istanbul I've discovered. They're vast. I mean, it must be about just 20 feet off the ground. If one of these fell on you, you'd be flattened. Absolutely huge and very beautiful. I think they're made of solid metal. They look like it. Imagine that falling on you. And off to the side here, we have Islamic information. Saw this earlier on, and some of it's in English, some of it's in all sorts of languages really. And not sure what they say. What is Islam? And one here in English, the final messenger. And on the back I noticed it says Global Academy for Translation and Education, London, United Kingdom. So that's produced in England. What do we have over here? We have some more similar kinds of things. The ABCs of Islam. Around the corner here, we have these side corridors, vast corridors, with yet more chandeliers. And this room is special, this gilded room. Look at it, what could be behind these gilded mesh things here? And looking inside, you can just about make out these Qurans, and apparently these are very precious Qurans on their thrones. Ooh, there we go. Just about see. Now this used to be the library, I'm told, of one of the sultans. These days it's just got a few Qurans in. So this was a very special place of learning for the sultans, where they kept their precious texts. There we go. And down here, a few people praying there. There's a minbar just in the corner right over there. And this is interesting. I don't know if you can work it out. So just there is a tripod. And this is Neptune, the pagan god, and his trident, whatever the word is. So this was from a time when this was pagan. As we come around the corner here, vast columns. Look at this. Ooh, nearly slipped then, down a step. And here we have this huge stairway that goes up, and this is where traditionally, I guess, people preach the sermon. The imam would preach the Friday sermon. And those two flags, can't really tell in the dark, but they're green flag of Islam. And serious worshippers tend to come here during the day and night to pray. But I've been here on Salah, and this whole area has been completely packed. These areas here are they're like study circles where people learn the Quran. And this is very interesting. If you know Westminster Abbey in London well, you'll know this, you'll recognise this, because they copied it. And when the monarchs in England are crowned in Westminster Abbey, they are crowned on this replica in Westminster Abbey. This is the original, and these represent, I'm told, stones taken from important countries of the world. I remember this one over here. This is stone taken from France, because when I was told about this, I was with a French guy, and I said, look how small it is compared to, I don't know if that's Persia or Arabia or India or whatever. And he said to me, oh, well, where's England then? There's nothing here from England, I don't think. But anyway, what's the central one, the big central one, is for the Sultan or the Emperor of the Ottoman Empire himself. And he rules here over all the lesser countries, including France and India and wherever they are. So this is the coronation spot where the emperors or the sultans were crowned. And our Queen in England has the same kind of thing in Westminster Abbey. If you Google this, you can see it for yourself. It's open to the public, you can see it. So there is a second tier, and if I remember rightly, and perhaps I can't remember rightly, but I think possibly the Empress, the wife of the Emperor, I suppose, and her court were up there, away from, this is certainly the male area down here, so that's where the Empress was and the women section was. Now women have their own section down here rather than upstairs. Now something else I want to show you. You see this huge entrance here. This is where the Emperor came into the mosque, into the basilica when it was a Christian place. But these are the original doors, and they were made over 1,500 years ago. And they're made, I think, of wood. So they're not made of steel, and they've survived all this time, without being burnt. Anyway, there's something else I wanted to show you before I end, because there's a lot of Christian iconography still in existence here. If I turn around, there we are, there's the main entrance to the mosque, and just above it there is an icon of Jesus, and to the left there is an emperor who is grovelling and begging for forgiveness. So he's repenting of his sin. I don't know what his sin was. And above him is an icon or a picture of the Virgin Mary, and to the right is an angel, I think. So that's Christ up there. It's not been touched, it's not been destroyed, it's been there as part of the mosque for centuries now. And finally, perhaps the most extraordinary Christian iconography that's left. I'm just going down here. In the 8th century, there was a big controversy in the church about the use of icons, and the Second Council of Nicaea ruled in the 8th century that icons were okay, they were permitted in Christian worship. And to celebrate that, I'm told, this was installed, and this is an icon or mosaic of the Virgin Mary, and there are two Greek words either side which says Mater, Mother, Theon of God, Mother of God, with Jesus, and there's Constantine holding the city of Istanbul, or Byzantium of course then, and giving it to the Virgin Mary, and there's another person on the right, and I can't remember who they are. So that's still there. Stunning mosaic, and it's not been in any way damaged or defaced by Muslims over the centuries. And Christians are still welcome here, as are non-believers of all kinds. It's not exclusively for Muslims at all, and it's open 24 hours a day. It never closes, thanks to the government, which reopened it last year after its 80-year or so year time as a museum, which charged people to come here, and it was only open certain hours of the day. So now it's back as a mosque, a house of prayer. It's open to the public 24 hours a day, free of charge, and anyone is welcome here. All you have to do is show respect for the place. So women have to wear hijab, of course, and cover their legs, and men have to cover their legs as well. They can't come in here just wearing shorts or something. They've got to be dressed decently as well, and that's the same as in the Vatican, actually. If you go to the Vatican, they have the same rule, not with a hijab, but the rest of it. Modest dressing is very important in places of worship, be it church, synagogue, or mosque. So there we are. That's my unexpert guide to this place. I've only known it 5 minutes myself, but I thought I'd at least do this now. Why not? Little area here. I could talk about these things, but I could go on all night. Oh, what's this here? It says, there we go, ladies section, which is through there. Wonder if there are any ladies through here. I think not this time of night. So the ladies section is actually empty. There's no ladies here. Everyone's just walking around. As I say, it never closes. There are some discreet guards somewhere. I think there's one at the moment, but there's about 4 or 5 of them on duty around the whole complex. And they're very lenient and tolerant of people. And I spoke to one yesterday through a translator, and the only problem they have is with demonstrators. Sometimes people come in here and they shout and unfold slogans and banners. That's something they won't tolerate in here. But other than that, there's nothing, he said, serious happens in here at all. Everyone's very well behaved and respectful. So there we go. What else can I say? It's a marvellous place. If you get the chance to visit, do visit. And there are many mosques in Istanbul, obviously, but of equal beauty, I would argue, equal majesty, equal historical importance, and great places for everyone, be you Christian, Muslim, whoever, to come and experience some spiritual peace in a sacred space. It's a great sacred space for humankind, I would suggest. That's just above the door of the entrance to where the Sultan comes in. Huge door. So tomorrow morning I fly back to London, and so there we are. Till next time.